Hello and welcome to Jack's Kitchen in Justin, Texas. We call this place Casa de Cofelt. Hopefully you can hear me today. I put on my headset so that I can walk around and have a little bit more audio reception. Today we're going to do just a chimichurri sauce, and then tomorrow night we're going to cook up an incredible steak that I picked up in Keller this week at Z Cattle Bar Ranch Butchers out there in Keller. So we're going to start with a wine because that's how we're supposed to cook in my house, right? So thanks to Uncle Tom, I got this really cool shark bottle opener. I don't think it was intended to be used the way I'm going to try to use it. This could be really funny, this could be really cool, or it could be a big mess. We'll find out. But what we're going to open up is what's called a Lambrusco, possibly. I may have to fight this. Yep, already going to be. So some of you know, in August of this year, Dawn and I celebrated our 25th anniversary, and we went to Italy for our 25th anniversary. And while we were there in August, it was quite warm. How about that? I didn't make a mess. Dawn's gonna be super happy about that. So in August, we went to Italy, celebrated our 25th anniversary in Italy, in Rome, on the day of the anniversary. It was incredible. But while we were there, we were introduced to Lambrusco. And Lambrusco is a sparkling red wine. This one's a rosé. I bought it this week not knowing what I was getting. But what we like about the Lambrusco is that it's very fresh, very refreshing. And so when you're out there in a hot summer day, whether it's in Italy or in our backyard here in Texas, we're gonna have a little Lambrusco. So my better half is still working. Good on her, babe. So we'll leave this one aside for her when she gets here, but salud. We're gonna get started. Okay, so like I said earlier, we're gonna make a chimichurri sauce. And the chimichurri sauce is originally an Argentinian sauce, and there's a lot of different ways you can go about it. This is the Jackified version. I fell in love with this sauce several years back, probably 8-9 years ago, when I traveled quite a bit and I was down in Miami, and there's this Cuban restaurant called La Carreta down there. Many of my friends that travel with me have definitely eaten there and understand why. They have this incredible skirt steak with a chimichurri, really fresh, flavorful, pungent chimichurri sauce. The wine comes in little glasses like this, but they refill them a lot. Kind of dig that. And so I got a few recipes, and we're just gonna do it. So on the table right now, I've already pre-peeled or pre-pulled a lot of the Italian leaf parsley. What I'm gonna show you is one little trick that I do is your parsley, you wanna rinse it off, let it dry a little bit. One way to do that is put it in a paper towel, roll it up, kind of pat it dry, and then what I do after that is I'm gonna take each individual stalk out, and I'm gonna peel each of these little leaves off here because I'm not Chris Stapleton and I'm not smoking them stems. But additionally, I just don't think the stems have very good flavor. So we'll peel each of these individually. This is Italian flat leaf parsley. I kind of like it more. It's got a nice big flat leaf on it. Produces a little bit more flavor. Gotta reach for the trash bowl. So, and one of the reasons that I do go ahead and pick each individual leaf is because if you can see that yellowish brown color, nobody wants to eat that. What you're looking for is that nice bright green. Once you have that, you go ahead and add that to your dish. You take the ugly yellow-brown ones and throw them in the trash bowl. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna take a little bit of red pepper flake and I'm gonna put it in my bowl. Probably a lot because I like this stuff spicy. Some people may freak out. You don't have to have it spicy. That's just one option. Like I said, there's a lot of different options to go with your chimichurri. And then I add a little bit of salt. Whew, I got a quick whiff of that. Definitely got some heat to it. I'm just gonna put a little bit of salt And then what I do is I take a little masher here and I just kind of mash these up. I'm trying to do, whew, it's working, gotta tell you. So what I'm trying to do is get the oils out of the seeds and get those kind of working while we're prepping this stuff. So you give it a nice little mix. Just, what I really need to do is buy a mortar and pestle one of these days. So we go ahead and kind of mix that in. Just give it a good bang here and there. Kind of want to cover the mess. Put that aside. What I'm going to do is put just a little light layer of oil into that. I'm just going to let that kind of soak in there and get a little bit of that goodness right off the bat. I'm going to put that to the side. Okay, I'm going to do the garlic afterwards. So what I do with my fresh parsley, and you can add any herbs that you want. There's recipes for oregano, there's recipes that have that nasty cilantro thing. Myself and my daughter happen to be one of those 3%ers that when you eat cilantro, it tastes like soap. Can't stand it. Anyway, so I'm gonna take all this, I'm gonna whip out the big knife, because it makes chopping these a lot easier. And anytime you break out your knife, whether it's your chef knife or whatever, always just give it a quick once over, straighten out that blade. I like the way it sounds, and it's also gonna make sure I get a good chop. All right, so we're gonna take this parsley, and I try to make a tight little ball. And I'm probably gonna do this wrong, so any of the real cooks out there, you guys can give me advice later. But I just start chopping, and this is gonna take a while. So to talk about parsley, what else are we gonna talk about today? I see there's some folks on the line. Hopefully you guys can see me. Hopefully you can hear me. If you got questions, shoot them over. I will put the recipe up for this one as well. So all I'm gonna do is just really, I wanna chop this super fine. And we're just kind of keep going. Chopping, chopping, chopping. So we're gonna put this on a bavette steak tomorrow night. It's kind of one of the lesser known cuts of steak. It happens to be one of my absolute favorites. Just think of it as the strip steak or flap steak, but with more flavor. It's just in between those two layers. It has amazing flavors, fat in it. It cooks super hot, super fast. You can get a nice medium rare or medium on it. I don't think you should go anything over that whenever you're cooking a steak. That's just wrong. If you see people that are cooking medium well, just unfriend it, man. Nobody needs that kind of thing in their life. You just don't. So I just keep making little piles and chopping and chopping and chopping and chopping. So my chimichurri is a really basic chimichurri. There's only a couple of ingredients. You saw the salt and pepper, the red pepper flakes. We're gonna go ahead and put a little pepper in there here in a little bit. Parsley. I'm gonna use lemon. I'm gonna juice this entire lemon. You got a little trick that I learned somewhere. I'm gonna show you on that. And this is smelling really good in here. Fresh herbs are the best. I did go again to a Central Market to pick these up. Central Market there in Southlake has a really good produce section. They're open for business. They're doing a great job with the keeping everybody separated with the 6-foot stuff. They've got lines on the floors and a bunch of people working, and it worked out really well. So you really got to go to town on this parsley and get it really as small as you want, because you don't want to have, you're going to have company over. You're going to be serving this dinner. You have a nice bite of steak with a chimichurri on it, and next thing you know, get that grain in your teeth. That's not cool. So we're going to try to avoid that. It's getting pretty close to where I want it to be. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and one more quick. You could probably go too far on this. Sometimes I do, but just that fine chop is really what you're going for. That looks pretty good. So I'm gonna take all that, put it in there, wipe the hands off, wipe the blade off, carefully. I don't want to be bleeding all over you guys while I'm trying to make my videos. Clean that up a little bit. So I'm going to take that and just give it a quick stir, because there's that little bit of olive oil that I already put in there. It's extra virgin olive oil. You got some of the good stuff to use that. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more salt. Salt, again, will kind of release some of the moisture in that parsley before I add some of the other flavor components. A little bit of pepper. And give it a good whirl. And again, we're going to just let that sit there for a minute, because the next component that we're going to do is the lemon. So I pulled this lemon from Central Market out of the fridge, and it's kind of cold and a little bit hard. So what you can do is take it, throw it in the microwave, about 10 to 12 seconds, turn it on, and what that's going to do is that's going to get all the little juices flowing and get that lemon ready to squeeze and provide more juice than when it's fully cold, because it's kind of tight when it's fresh out of the refrigerator. You heat it up a little bit, or the other option is you could have left it sitting out half the day or whatever, and you wouldn't have to do that. I wanted to show you that little trick I learned. So with our lemon, I'm going to go ahead and juice this into another little bowl. The reason I'm going to do that is I used to have one of those really cool half lemon squeeze things, and I broke the handle, and I've just been too cheap, too lazy, too something to go buy another one. But I got this fun little thing. But what I want to do is I'm going to juice this lemon, but I don't want any of the seeds in there. If I juiced it over the parsley, then I'd have to start picking seeds out, and you lose parsley, and that's just really not what you want to do. So I'm going to take the lemon, cut it in half. We're going to juice it. I have washed my hands probably 75 times a day. So if you see me digging in here, all I'm doing is pulling out the seeds. But hopefully you can see how much juice is coming out of that. And that's only 1/2 so far. One other little tidbit that I use is I keep my lemon rinds, the orange peels and lime peels, and that's about the only thing I ever put down my garbage disposal, because it helps kind of clear it up. And again, those oils in there make it smell better than the nastiness that kind of hangs out there. Let's go ahead and juice this other half. Hopefully you guys are seeing that. Super good lemon. Again, the fresh fruit and produce from Central Market is always high quality. Actually, there were no seeds in there whatsoever. So I'm gonna wipe my board down here if I don't knock myself out, because I don't want those juices while I'm doing the next step. All right, so I'm gonna take this juice, just gonna kind of pour it around in here. Get that all out. I'm gonna give it a whirl. And hopefully you can see how green and bright and shiny that is now. It's got a good little lemony pop to it. I'm gonna push all this stuff down on the side for now, so that while I'm doing the next step, which is cutting up the garlic, it will continue to meld in that juice there. So again, good garlic is always better than bad garlic. The garlic selection this week was a little bit limited. So I got this garlic that has this really cool purple hue to it. That's not a bad thing, it's good. So I'm gonna take these 3 cloves of garlic. I'm gonna lay them flat on my board. I'm gonna go one side down, hand away from the board, pop, smash, pop, smash, pop, smash for the 3rd time. And that makes it easier to just kind of peel that out of there, because with this garlic, I'm gonna chop it up really fine. I'm gonna give it a really good mince. So we're taking that, we're getting out, we don't want any of the paper in there, because again, paper doesn't taste very good, right? So we take as much of the paper out as we can. Get that 3rd one, and then we got a good mash on that. That fun knife I got, it really does a bang up job. So again, we're just gonna take this, and do a bit of a chop. One way, slide that all together, and the other way. And get these into small, really small, fine pieces, because nobody really wants to bite into a whole slice of garlic and be overpowered by that. So every once in a while, knock it off the knife. And when you get a feel for it, you'll know when you're done. Getting some really nice little pieces here that I think are going to be just about right. Take a little feel there. Get those lined up. Except I gotta add a little wine. Can't have a cooking show without wine, right? Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna take this garlic and drop it in here, like so. And now we're almost there. This one's really easy, but I didn't really want to have a show for 30 minutes of me pulling leaves and being bored. And like I said, we're making this tonight so that it can sit in the fridge overnight. And when it sits overnight, it's just gonna permeate and get more deep flavor into it. And then tomorrow night, we're gonna probably go live about 5 to cook the steak and then the riff on Grandma Eileen rice. And I'll take it out about an hour before we're gonna eat, and the oil will kind of just warm up, get back to room temperature, and really let out a lot of great smell. All right, so can you see in there now? We got a bunch of good colors, right? You got the parsley, you got the red chili pepper flakes, and then that beautiful garlic. So now what we're gonna do is just add olive oil. And really, that's all chimichurri sauce is. Not a huge thing. Some people have asked, can you do this in a blender? My answer is yes, but I don't think it tastes as good because it really kind of turns everything into a paste. And the fresh chop really helps just make a better flavor. But do it however you want. But don't be afraid of making your own sauce. Once you try this, and I know you're gonna love it. And it goes on a lot of different things. We particularly like to put it on, I said, the bavettes. You put it on any steak, you put it on chicken, put it on pork chop. So eat it with a spoon, I don't know. All right, so I'm gonna take my good olive oil, and what I'm gonna do, again, as I said in the first episode, I'm not really a measure guy. So what I'm gonna do is kind of give this a good couple of turns until the oil is just above where the parsley was. I'm gonna give that a stir and kind of see where this settles out. Let's move this out of the way so you can see that. Hopefully you're getting some of that goodness. That's just, oh God, it smells phenomenal, it really does. So actually I think that was a good pour. Got lucky on that one. Even a bald guy gets lucky every once in a while, right? So then we just give this a good stir. I'm gonna do a little tasting. You wanna taste your food as you're prepping it, whether it's a sauce that you're making beforehand, the rice or beans or whatever. As you're cooking, you need to know, does it have enough salt? Does it need more lemon? Does it need, any of these things? So I'm gonna grab a spoon because we wanna be conscientious cooks and not let everybody taste our babas, especially in today's day and age. Take a little taste. I'm digging it. I'm definitely digging it. All right, so let me see if I can bring this over here. Can you see in there some of that color? How that's like that? That's just perfect. It's, at least for us. Got nice pepper flakes in there. Got lemon, keeps it fresh. Gives it a little bit of good flavor there. And now we're basically done with this for today. What I'm gonna do is put this plastic wrap over it, stick it in the fridge, and just let it marinate all night. And like I said, tomorrow we'll pull it out and then we'll talk about cooking the bavette and making the Grandma Eileen rice. Grandma Eileen rice is a riff on Grandma Eileen. She used to make this minute rice for us with some onions and did it in the microwave. I jackified it, and we use jasmine rice now. And then I take some fresh green onions, and we'll chop those up tomorrow night. We'll make the jasmine rice, and then on the side, I'll take a lot of butter. We are in the South. Butter's good down here, right? We'll take some butter and melt it, and then I'm gonna put the green onions that we've chopped up in that. Let that kind of get marinating and tasty. And then when the rice is done, we'll pour that mixture all over, spin it up, and now you've got Jackified Grandma Eileen's rice. So I think that's gonna do it for me today. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm having a blast doing this. You know, I'm not working right now. I've got to focus on something. And I got to tell you, the other night, super nervous. But we got through it. I got some good responses from a lot of people, and I thank you so much. This has really been a huge plus for me to be able to kind of focus on a positive instead of some of the negative that's going on right now. So we're gonna do a few more of these. Who knows, I may even create a YouTube channel. Maybe look for Daddy Jack's Home Cooking or something like that, coming to a YouTube channel near you. Anyway, let's get a little rosé one more time. Cheers to you. Be good, cook for your family with love in your heart, and it'll come out great. Ta-ta for now. I don't think that worked. Oh, I gotta turn it on. Look at this, I got this cool little deal. Now we'll say ta-ta.